What it is, y'all? It is your old boy Pilk, and we're coming back today talking about the new incoming banners tonight. Now, these banners, the singular banner, thank goodness it's just one banner, am I right? So, the way that they kind of announced this, they kind of said, oh, you guys asked for it. I guess we'll... I think we know all along. Now that we've seen everything, I think it's pretty obvious they've been planning this from the start. And frankly... these units are going to be kind of awesome, and the characters are kind of awesome, all things considered. So, yeah, I mean, it just makes sense. And I even said from the start, I figured they'd be part 2. I didn't think they'd be this late in the game, but if nothing else, at least they're going to be kind to us, and they're going to give us 1,000 free Iris. So, that is... super handy. You just gotta log in for the next 3 days, and we're gonna get some Iris from the EX event and all that stuff, so there's gonna be Iris up for grabs, guys, and we're gonna work hard on this channel over the next couple of days with all the EX events and everything that's gonna drop tonight to try to get you guys some quick Iris to help summon on this. Remember, we just got Record Buster rewards last night. Hopefully did pretty well in Record Buster. I was able to make Jester 3 thanks to the help of everyone on the stream last night. In fact, I was underrating some of my own characters, so just goes to show you, I am not the master team builder. I need help with it all the time myself. So, neither here nor there. Let's get in. Let's talk about this. Okay. Now we know first up is Zard, Predator. Zard is an interesting unit. Now, first things first, his HP is really close to 4,000. It'll be over 4,000, which they're just the smallest amount of CP in him. And remember, we're getting those Val Bouquets for all these units, so he'll be really easy to upgrade. Also, it's just me, he looked like he's wearing the Berserk armor. This dude is 100% GOTS, minus, the Dragon Slayer. But great looking unit, powerful unit, 2,100 for the lack of it might as well be 2,100. Strength stat. His agility is 782. His dex is, I think, the best in the game thus far. I don't think there's a dex stat this high. So, dude's gonna be awesome. Is it dex or is it endurance? I always get the two confused. Let me grab my game here. Yeah, dex. I was right, dex. The one I did get confused yesterday, I always look at the defensive value and think it's MP, even though MP, even in the Japanese, still says MP. So his MP is 244. Now, I was initially thinking that meant that his skills were going to be expensive, but they're actually not that expensive. They're all fairly... they're expensive, but they're not well, we'll get to Alfia. We'll talk about expensive when we get to Alfia. But 244 is a pretty decent MP sum total. Remember, that's going to go up and up and up and up and up with the assists you give him. But it's not bad. It's actually pretty high. I think it's just a little bit below the recent Otaro we got, so he's really good. The stats on this unit are really, really, really nice. Let's talk about what he does, though. Alright? Skill number 1 is a foes, plural, super light physical attack, 30% chance to taunt, gain 2 additional actions, foes, low light physical attack, drain 20% of HP damage, or 20% of damage as HP. So in other words, 20% of the damage you do is going to come back to Zard as health on that attack. So, pretty crazy. Now, we did get the cost for this attack. That is a 56 MP cost. So it's not the cheapest, but it's not the end of the world, honestly. That does mean you're going to have to conserve MP a little bit, or put someone on him that restores MP, but still, it wasn't the 100 to 200 something like when we got Katori. Oh, she's disgusting. Her MP costs are all through the roof, so he's not quite that expensive, which I was initially thinking, but that's still pretty awesome that his main skill that he's going to use, his super attack, is the one that gives you those extra actions. Now, what's really fun, skill 2 is actually kind of like his warm-up attack, I guess you could say. It's a foes, plural, highlight physical attack with ultra penetration, temporary strength boost, and self strength and dex 70%, with a foe's physical and magic resistance down 30%. So let's take stock of everything skill 2 does. Okay? Highlight physical attack, ultra penetration, temporary strength boost, self, strength, and dex both 70%. Now remember, his dex is already almost 1,000. So do the math on that. His dex is just unbelievable. His strength is going to be out of this freaking planet. Dude's nuts. Absolutely nuts. So when you're doing like an AoE buff stack, you're going to do skill 2, then skill 1. I know normally we say do the skill that does the multi-attack first, but you really want the buffs on those extra attacks. So my recommendation would be skill 2, skill 1, and then basically spam skill 1. You could do skill 1, then skill 2. Nothing necessarily wrong with that, but you are lacking a little bit of damage, I believe, in the long run doing that. Just if I'm really legitimizing this in my brain. So I would say skill 2, then skill 1, and then basically spam skill 1. Now skill 3 for him, and worth noting, skill 2 is, I believe, 54 MP cost. So yeah, skill 1 is 56, skill 2 is 54 MP cost. So expensive cost, but not the end of the world, like I said. Skill 3, which is 36 MP cost, is a highlight physical attack with ultra critical for every strength buff on himself, skill damage plus 40%. Remember, that actually works for both the assist buff and the adventure buff. So he's going to give himself 70%. You put an assist on him that gives him 20%, and do the math. Add all that with a double 40% buff, you're talking crazy, insane damage. Now that's single target then. To be fair though, his SA is a foe's plural. So like, while he'll be good at something like Record Buster or a single target, 7th zone or something like that, he's not going to be the best. He's going to be good, but not the best. Special Arts is a foe's plural. Ultra light physical attack with ultra critical for every strength buff on himself, skill damage 50%, so it's like literally 100%. On top of whatever he's got. So if like you have Harahime's buff and you got the 20% buff, you're talking right there 220% just in strength damage. Not including if you have like the light Harahime that's going to give him all that light damage, which hopefully you would do because he's going to need that. Well, okay. He won't need it, but you're going to want to do it. You're totally going to want to do it. Believe. Now, he also does physical and magic resist down 50%. So, yeah. Then basically, and that's for 3 turns. So basically, you do that SA and then laugh and just ruin everything for the rest of the match. I mean, even then, that's still a great skill if you're doing something like Record Buster, especially with Finn upcoming, because that physical and magic resistance is like one of the best in the game. I don't think we have anything higher than 50%. I could be wrong. I don't think we have anything higher than 50%, especially not at AoE. So, dude's a flippin' monster. Absolutely gross. Passives are counters heal for 50% damage. So, in other words, remember, his extra attacks do 20%, and his passive now does 50%. Just saying, dude's never running out of health. Like, he is going to live. Dark resistance plus 35%, critical damage plus 15%. Doesn't look like he has any special skills like, Dragon Killer, Worm Killer, or anything like that. I don't think he deserves Dragon Killer. What do y'all think? I'm just saying. If anything, but yeah, really awesome unit. Hopefully you want this guy. He is nuts. Let's talk about Alfia. Alfia is also pretty crazy, and these two are going to work so well. Like, tell me if the light team isn't completely busted. Like, tell me it's not entirely crazy busted. This is ridiculous, honestly. Light has gotten so much love over the past few months. It is where Fire was after last year's event. You could see the power creep is just insane. If every skill is able to catch up with Light before the end of next year, kind of like everything caught up with Fire before the end of next year, or last year, before the anniversary, the power creep is going to be pretty wild. Let's talk about what she does. Skill 1, Self. Magic and agility plus 70% for 4 turns. Gain 3 additional actions allies 75% chance for null 1 magic, excluding SAs. Now, if we talk in MP cost, skill 1 for her is a 172 MP cost. Yup. That one hurts. That one hurts. You will need someone, you will need like the Haruhime assist or someone on here that does all units MP restoration. Like MP is going to be really painful, but these units are so OP. It's like the only way you could hold them back is with MP cost. Okay? So skill 1 you're going to do once or twice and hopefully finish it quickly. Skill 2 is a foes, plural, fast, mid-light magic attack with temporary magic boost. Allies, light damage 35%. Foes, light resistance down 40%. Now, that light damage 35% is going to be good. It's going to be okay. But the honest answer is you're going to want the light Haruhime to buff that light damage and then just laugh all the way to Murder Town. That is, I believe, 46 MP cost for skill 2. Yeah, 49 cost for MP skill. 49 MP cost for skill 2, and then 31 MP cost for skill 3. Skill 3 is a foe singular highlight magic attack with ultra penetration. For every magic buff on herself, she gives herself skill damage 40. Now, this is high, not super. There is no super class on her. There's a self buff, a mid-light magic, and a single target highlight magic. So, she's good. More of a supporter. More of a supporter by a huge margin. Though I really think she's going to be pretty killer in Wargame. What do y'all think? I think she's going to be absolutely killer in Wargame. Special arts. Foes, plural, ultralight, magic attack with ultra penetration. For every magic buff on herself, skill damage 50%. Basically just like same thing we got with Zard. Allies, null magic attack, 1 turn except SAs. Now do remember that her skill 1 gives herself 3 turns with 75% chance. And SAs don't really count as a turn, as an action, so to speak. So, you know, that's a thing. So she kind of makes up for that. With that extra null magic attack. And it's not 75%, it's 100%. So, pretty nice. Passes or counter have 50% chance to seal. So, Zard will taunt. She's going to seal, at least sometimes. Dark resist plus 35%. She's a light unit. Penetration damage 15%. And HP MP 5% regen every turn. I'm guessing that's just for herself. I don't think that's all units. It would say all units if it was. But that is insane. Absolutely nuts. And it gets better because then we've got to go talk about Erebus. Now, Erebus, first of all, HP is pretty okay. MP is really nice at 227. His dex is where he's actually at 570. Really, the long and the short of it is you want this dude tied to, like, alfia, basically. Well, actually, he'd be best tied to Zard, but I'm sorry, you're going to give Zard someone with a lot more strength stat. Tying him to alfia would be pretty good. Alfia's dex was 602, wasn't the best, but he'll basically make up the difference. The reason I say you don't want him tied to Zard is because you're really going to want some physical attack on Zard. You're going to want that 20% boost from, you know, whatever units you got that does that. 20%, 15 at the bare minimum, but the 20% is obviously going to make a huge difference in his all-out power. So, yeah, pretty wild this. Now, what does he do? At maximum break, he is light resistance down 20%. Foes, plural, all foes. Light resistance down 20%. Now, here's the interesting one. Self. Magic and strength 20%. So I take that back. He actually would be pretty good for Zard. Not the best, if I'm honest. So I forgot he did that too. I remembered he did light resistance 20%. I completely forgot that he did magic and strength 20%. But hear me out on this. I still think he's better on alfia. And I know that sounds insane, but remember when we first got Dark Otaro and we had that Freya that did 20% strength and all ailments resistance. That is a great unit. But look at his strength stat. 362 is kind of, I won't say laughable, but it is a little bit. Even though you're getting 20%, if you have a unit that's got like 600 strength stat, and then you've got, let's say 15% on top of that, they're going to hit a little bit harder. The 20% strength stat from someone like, let's say the Artemis unit, the Artemis assist. That's who I always use. And I think she's still the best for physical attack because she does 20% to herself, 15% to everybody else. And she's got a really high physical stat. I think her physical stat's in the 500s. Ah, goodness gracious. I'm going to have to look it up here. Her physical stat is way better, though. Before I put my foot in my mouth, let me just double check. I'm pretty sure it is, though. There we are. All right, so Artemis at max limit break. Yeah, her strength stat is 575. Like I said, Artemis is going to be a better assist for Zard, even though this dude really increases his dex, and his dex going to be pretty important to get him getting counters and healing. Let's see. Artemis's dex is 305. So you're basically giving up a little bit of counter rate and a little bit of healing for having a higher strength stat. So it's just the decisions you've got to make. But I really feel like Artemis is going to be a better choice for raw damage. Erebus is probably for some of the longer events. So do keep that in mind. I think Erebus really is going to work better on alfia, personally. Now, because once again, she's got those counters. And that counter will seal. Ta-da! Strategy. Now, that is at max limit break. Light resist down 20%. Self, magic, and strength 20%. That is all going to go down to 15% at level 60. It will only go all the way up when you have them completely limit broken and level 80. But let's be real. Even at level 76 with everything 15%, this dude is still going to be really, really, really awesome. So, you know my opinion? Summon. If nothing else, and this is what I always say, I know everyone's really low on Iris right now. We've got 1,000 Iris incoming. We just got Iris for Wargame. Hopefully I have a little bit left over. I'm sitting pretty on just about 2,000 Iris as of, a little more than, as I'm making this video. And my goal is going to be to farm some more up here this afternoon. So if I can be at 3,000 by the time we stream tonight, I'll be in absolutely stellar shape. There's only 1,000 left to work on. So do consider all of your options. Upgrade some 3 stars, upgrade some 2 stars, do whatever it takes. Do bear in mind also that we are getting a heroic trial for these units. So in this heroic trial, you can actually get a bond for either one of them. So if you're lacking, let's say, a bond for one of them, you can just grab that real quick. Though, once again, in my honest opinion, I really feel like Erebus is your best pick. Only because, remember, these units are going to be time limited. Little red mark up there tells you 100% it's going to be time limited, but anniversary units are time limited anyway. But they are going to be time limited. You are going to have only so many options to get them. So if you don't do it now, at least if you have one of each, you could throw star bonds on them later. And I think if you're going into war game, you're going to want alfia 100%. So, but that's the video, guys. Let me know what you thought. That is like all my thoughts and strategies on these units going in there. Now we know MP costs. We know all of that information. You are pretty much prepared. And I think my answer is just going to be summon. If nothing else, you want one of each. She's going to be awesome for Wargame. He's going to be awesome for literally everything else ever in the game. If you're having problems with Monsterphilia, he'll kill it. If you're having problems with 7th Zone, he'll kill it. I don't care if it's single target or AoE. He'll kill it. So, get that Zard, get that Alfia, get that Erebus. If you can't max them or break them, like I said, upgrade some 3 stars, upgrade some 2 stars, blow some potato snacks, get your CP levels up to date, because also remember they are going to have their own Val Bouquets, so as you upgrade them, you're going to be upgrading your Iris too, so you'll have plenty of opportunities to maximum break these units. They're going to be around for about 2 weeks, so you need to move quick, but I digress. I can only harp on this so much. There's going to be so much to do with these units and so little time to do it. So get one of each. Make it fast. I'm 100%. Every single unit on this banner is awesome. Don't miss this opportunity. Like I said, if you can only summon so many times, at least get one of each. throw your hands up and walk away. The other thing I would mention, we are going to get guaranteed summons, or guaranteed 4 stars on 1st, 7th, 4th, and... Sorry, 1st, 4th, 7th, and 10th. I said it back, 4th and 7th backwards, but hopefully you got it. 1, 4, 7, and 10 are going to be your only guaranteeds. It is double raid, so hopefully you'll pull more than that. But in the situation that you come to the end of the 10th pull and you've still got some iris, do not go over. It is not pay. The only exception to that would be if you just didn't pull 1 unit. Maybe 400 or so might be. But if you haven't, I hate to say this, and I will say it, and especially in the times we're in, it's really hazardous to say, but my logic is always, if you have never spent money in this game, and you want to support the creators of the game, because they bring us some hype content, and you just want to make it quick, dirty, and get one of the units, the paid banner guarantees you one of the new units. It guarantees it. And if you haven't done any of the sales, it's $20, and you're paying $20 for a JPEG. Actually, a PNG, because they're... Ping. Because they're transparent. But I digress. You are paying $20 for an image. Let's put the brakes on it, and let's go ahead and be realistic about it. But also, at least then you have the unit, and you're supporting the game. But don't go too crazy unless you can absolutely afford it. Because do remember, these are very hard times. We're in a recession. Worldwide things are just pretty crazy right now. So be responsible if that's the way you want to go. But also, do bear in mind, it is there available on the table. But definitely be responsible. Ponder it, and do all 10 of your free pulls before you decide to do anything absolutely crazy. Because if you've done all 10 of your pulls, you're probably going to pull one of each. Let's just be real. Let's just be completely real here. That's the video, guys. Let me know what you guys thought in the comment section down below. Like, subscribe, stay up to date with more. Danmachi will be live streaming tonight. Should be going live just before the banners drop. So hope to see y'all then.